All right. So let's get going. This week, the Trump administration escalated its war on higher education by ordering U.S. embassies around the world to pause scheduling visa interviews for international students hoping to attend universities here in America. So I have a lot to say about this, but I want to throw it back to you, Mallory, because the first thing that pops out at me is, did the elite universities, are they not sufficiently nice to Donald Trump? Is this why he's going after them?
Well, I mean, as you very well know, higher education means higher critical thinking skills. It means better educated populace. It means well rounded individuals who are capable of thinking for themselves and are less susceptible to a cult like mentality, which is what MAGA is. So the sooner he can attack higher education in any capacity, limit access to that higher education, or demonize it, he's speaking to his base of people who have decided that higher education is for the elite. They don't speak to us. They don't know anything about the real world. And he is, in turn, reducing access to that education so people won't have any reason to speak out against him. So I think it's pretty much a part of the plan, and it always has been. He's demonized education, science, experts. I mean, anyone who's smarter than him or has the ability to think critically about an issue, because it undermines his ability to lie about anything and not be checked.
Well, it's interesting to me. He's taking this as a national security issue. So the Trump administration is saying that they're going to restrict international students from attending Harvard in particular. We know he doesn't like Harvard, but
because they stood up to him.
Right. But the official reason is now to root out anti-Semites, woke radicals, dangerous terrorists that come in via international student visas. And there's a new rationale that just came out just a couple of days ago. But that first rationale is really interesting to me because we haven't had any international terrorists on student visas. I looked this up since 9/11. And on 9/11, there was one of the hijackers came in on a student visa. Many of them came in that were studying to become pilots. Some of them came in on business visas. Some of them came in on tourist visas, but like one. So we don't have a problem with international students and terrorism. And now the new reason, Mallory, is to help working class Americans get those slots. So the Trump administration is now saying, hey, these international students are taking these Harvard slots, and so we're going to restrict them, and we're going to help our working class students get those slots. And this is really cynical here, because none of what he's doing is going to help working class citizens get into elite universities. If the Republicans really wanted to do this, if Trump really wanted to do this, he ought to talk to his House Republican caucus, because they just passed that big, beautiful bill. Right. And that actually makes it harder for students to get Pell Grants. And who are the students that get Pell Grants? The ones who come from poor working class families.
Yeah.
So, there's this nonpartisan education organization that's basically said, that's estimated that the bill that these House Republicans just passed will change the Pell Grants and deprive 700,000 people of eligibility for Pell Grants, basically cutting the funding for higher education. So they're saying one thing, we love you, working class, and then slashing the Pell Grants.
I mean, that's the entirety of their shtick from start to finish, right? It's speak to the working class Americans, and everything you do doesn't help them. But I just want to just pause for a second and notice that we have a strong legacy of welcoming international students to the United States for a higher education. There are a ton of first and second generation immigrant and international students. I think they make up 1 in every 3 that are enrolled in higher education here, and they help strengthen higher education, which we've already discussed they don't want. But they also, they increase overall enrollment figures. And then when they graduate, a majority of them stay here. They stay to contribute to our economy and provide valuable assets and resources to major international companies. I mean, they are helping America be great by bringing their smarts and their talents to the companies that are here in the United States. And so I think it goes against everything they say about caring about the economy and wanting to make America great and strengthening things here. But I also see this as, talk about affirmative action. You're not smart enough to get into Harvard, so let's kick out the people who are smart so that we have greater access for.
It's part of this Republican push to undermine American power.
Yes,
I mean, that's what this is doing. When you bring in, just as you said, when you bring in international students, you're bringing in talent to America. It is a source of American power and has been for many, many years. The United States has 7 of the world's top 10 universities. We have 13 of the world's top 20 universities. Harvard, by the way, is number 3. And what that means is that a lot of people.
Just out of curiosity, what's number 1? Do you know?
That's a good question. I'd actually have to look that up. I think it's a British university that's number 1.
Okay.
MIT is number 2. Harvard's number 3. But it's between the UK and the United States. Those 2 countries are the ones that kind of compete for the best colleges in the world. And by the way, where do most international students go? They go to either the United States or the UK. And so right now you're going to see a huge shift to those international students, that talent that provides innovation, entrepreneurship, all these things. Is going to go to the UK. They're going to get the benefit of this, and the United States is going to drop out. Oxford is number 1. I'm being told. Thank you from my wonderful team here. So anyway, it's a source of power. A lot of these students stay here, and these students. It's not just the halting of visas right now, Mallory. I mean, what have we seen in the news? What if you're an international student, like the top student in your country, wanting to figure out where they're going to go to college? You're seeing international students being rounded up in the United States and sent to like Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then being deported back.
Yeah, I was going to say kidnapped. I mean, let's stop calling it rounding up and deported. People are being kidnapped without due process and sent to places they've never been before. And that would be terrifying. I mean, the fact that, I don't want to derail the topic of education, but just on that for a moment, the fact that other countries are warning people not to come to the United States, not to travel to the United States, again, undermining that power, undermining our standing in the world on the global stage. I think it's all tied together. And in addition to that, this is something you and I were just chatting about, but I think it's important to note the attacks on women are very much a part of the attack on higher education. Women are receiving their bachelor's and master's degrees at higher rates than men across the country. They are moving into higher echelons of the workforce and in their career paths than men across the country. And I think it would be naive to think that a portion of the attack on higher education is not in line with sending women back to the kitchen where the Republicans have stated many times they think we belong.
Yeah, it's real. And it's not just these attacks on Harvard University, right? The Trump administration signed an executive order almost immediately, right, to shut down the Department of Education.
Yeah.
They've taken, the Trump is talking about taking billions of dollars away from Harvard for not, let's be real, for not towing the party line.
Yep.
He wants these universities to toe the administration line. I mean, I just think it's dangerous. It's wrong. It's going to undermine American power in the long run. Soft power, they don't like that term. Okay, but power is power. And this is going to hurt us.
I also think this is something that we mentioned the last time I was on the show, but it bears repeating that these policies and this type of attack on higher education, reducing funding, this is not just when Donald Trump's done, we'll all revert back to whatever, right? These are generational consequences. These are removing people who were going to medical school, to law school, who become the experts in our society for this generation of people. So we're looking at a whole generation that's losing those Pell Grants, losing access to the scholarships that were allowing them to get that education when they go on to become those doctors and lawyers and other experts. So this isn't something that's just minuscule and short-lived throughout the course of this administration. It will have a generational impact on our country, if not longer.
It's terrible.